We have a couple of special guests. We got Justin and we got Crystal from Chaffiott Cigars. How are you guys?
Hello, we're
Hey,
doing good.
doing
Everybody
good.
show your
Nice.
label.
Yeah, repping.
Woo!
There you go. Cool.
I
Nice,
think
nice. Which one is that one that you guys have?
Yeah, so this was a kind of a collaboration project with Oakland Tobacconists that
Okay.
we both blended together. So that's our two
Oh,
tone.
Okay.
nice. Oh,
That's
it's
a
a barber
Corojo.
pole.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's Corojo and San Andreas blend that we did
Oh,
together.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Oh,
All
San
right.
Andreas.
we
Sounds
Yeah,
could be
interesting.
seeing this in the future, but
yeah. It's funny,
Okay.
these limited brand, like the limited blends, they have a knack for not being limited if they're well received. The things that
Nice.
come back,
well,
you
they're
know?
limited for
All
a
right.
limited,
Nice,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice,
yeah.
Okay.
nice.
And that's a box press, right? You guys just
That is a
showed?
box.
That's a Oh, all right.
That is a
Okay.
box.
it's a box press.
Yeah,
I got myself the Speak No Evil. It's a Sumatra. I believe
nice.
this is a Toro size. Pretty
Correct.
good. Medium to medium plus, depending
Yep.
on the palette, I would say. Good draw. I love the draw on the thing. I like the flavors that it has. I think it's very well balanced when it comes to like the strength and the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
On this one, Traffic Smoking, I believe the Cameroon, right?
Yeah, the Hear No Evil. Um,
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the Cameroon. Dude, this is burning beautifully. The draw, like we were before you guys
Great.
came on, me and Yosli was saying that the draw, I love it because it's not too like loose and it's not
Yes.
yeah, it's perfect. I'm gonna be
It's
honest
right.
with you, perfect draw. The V cut made it even better. Like, dude, it
That's better,
awesome,
yeah.
amazing draw right now.
And we did not pay for that promotion. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
Nah,
Yeah.
definitely
No,
not. Definitely,
no, no.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because a lot of
Thank
people
you.
think that but no, no, no. So the first question that we wanted to ask you guys was, how long you guys been in the industry?
Yeah. So, the idea came about in 2018. We actually got incorporated in 2018, but we really didn't,
Okay.
I'd say, get off the ground. Really start putting our cigars out in the market and doing events and stuff. That was like mid to late 2019, I'd say.
Okay.
So, we're looking at 1921, 5 years or so, that we've been
Oh
doing
So
this.
wow.
right
All
before
right.
COVID,
And we've had
right
two
before
babies in
COVID.
that time frame, so that definitely was
Oh,
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
first, but took me out of it for at least a good
Yeah.
couple of years, and then Justin kind of
Okay.
held it down, but
Yeah.
now I'm able to jump more back into
Yeah.
things,
It's,
and,
it's
Nice.
just a husband and wife, 100% husband and wife team right here.
Wow.
nice,
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
nice.
Yeah.
And what made you guys wanted to like develop your own cigar brand?
Yeah, man, it's a good question. I mean, it's always the guy, right? Like, it's always the
Yeah,
guy going
Yeah.
to, like, hey, babe, I have a really great idea. but no, like, like,
it's true.
um, I had been going to my local cigar shop, which was literally in walking distance from my house, going back six
Okay.
years. And, my wife, we would go together and we would smoke cigars. And at the time, I was, I knew the ideas of boutique, but I really wasn't that familiar with a lot of the boutique blends. Some,
Okay.
some of the
yeah.
amazing, smaller mom and pop craft companies, if you will.
Okay.
So the owner really kind of took me, under his wing, and really kind of showed me some really good product out there from these smaller companies. And I just I just started trying everything, and I quickly just kind of fell in love with it, to be honest. And to make a long story short, at that same time, I'm trying cigars like from Eddie Ortega, for instance. I'm trying stuff from, Black Label earlier on at the time. I was trying
Okay.
stuff from, oh geez, I mean, there's so many brands out there now, but at the time, I think when Espinosa wasn't as big, the
Oh yeah,
Murcielago stick had those for the
oh,
first time. So trying all this amazing tobacco,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we were going to we went to an anti-trafficking conference at the same time. We've always kind of paid attention to human trafficking
Okay.
awareness
Oh
type of
yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
yeah, they had a conference in our hometown, so we went there. and we heard the testimony of a trafficking survivor share her story about how she was essentially, molested and abused by her father and her father's friends, trafficked by
Wow.
her father since she was 3 years old to like 16 years
Wow.
old, 18 years old.
Sheesh.
Tragic story, So
Yeah.
Crystal and I were pretty, I think, emotionally overwhelmed when we left, and we were both kind of smoking cigars after the conference. I remember, talking about it, and like, what if we could raise awareness and raise funds by doing cigars? It
Yeah.
would be just kind
Oh,
of a unique
nice.
way to
Yeah.
do it. But that was really kind of the inception. Was that it came from that place?
I think when you
Okay.
that
Yeah.
men are the majority of the consumers, and then the cigar community, number one, is a great community where it's very tight knit, and over a cigar you can have conversations. A lot of
Yes.
conversations take place. So we're like, gosh, we're having a conversation over a cigar. Why couldn't we have conversations with really good cigars that kind of draws people to an event or just to the brand, and then we get a chance to, in turn, when people say, hey, how can we help, we go, so glad you asked, or let me tell you more, and
Yeah.
combats the education part and the awareness, and then the funding. So
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, that's really kind of how it came about, man. And
he went down. I made him a really crappy business card, and he took it down to the Great Smoke.
yeah,
And
Wow.
good smoke.
I found out I was pregnant during this time, so I said, "Go have
Oh
fun."
wow. Okay. Okay.
2018, the Great Smoke. I talked to 45 different manufacturers, and like really 3 or 4 of them gave me the time of day because I really didn't know
Yeah.
anything back then, to be honest with
Okay.
you. But one manufacturer let me get my foot in the door, which I'm very thankful for. That was Blanco, actually, at the time.
Okay.
And
All right.
so he
Ooh,
put out our
nice.
first cigar, and the relationship was good. I thought the cigar was great, especially for a start. For our first blend, I
Yeah.
thought it was a
Yeah.
great cigar.
Yeah.
The Nicaraguan Puro that we did with him in Connecticut, and but the shop owner connection that I had introduced me to another blender who he was like best friends with, and he was the only shop in town
Okay.
that carried products. So I had met with him, told him about the idea and the mission behind our company and our brand. I gave him the cigar that we put out, and he was pretty impressed with the cigar. But he was like, "Hey, man, I would really." I asked him if he wanted to work with us, and he said he was interested and willing. So from there, we kind of departed from Blanco on a good note. No burnt bridges,
Yeah.
no hard feelings. Everything's cool. I just think the relationship made sense with Cordoba and Morales. That's who we work with now.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With Z, the homie Z, he's our brother, man. He's great, and lives super. He's only an hour away from me, and the relationship we have, I think, has grown.
He's in Orlando, right?
Yeah, he's in Orlando. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, killer, awesome guy, and but
Yeah.
yeah, we've been working ever since, and all of our product comes from
Oh,
his
nice.
manufacturer. So, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
went to there's a cigar shop in oh man, I forgot the city. I always say it's in Orlando, but it's called forgot the name. And I went there, and the guy, the majority of the product that he's got is from Morales. So the next time I visit, because I'm gonna be in Orlando at the end of October, we'll probably hit up that cigar shop.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, I forgot the name of the shop. So all of your cigars, all of Chaffiott cigars are out of Nicaragua.
Yeah, they're hand rolled in Nicaragua. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Hand rolled in
nice.
Nicaragua.
she's really
Eh,
great about giving us the liberty to work with different wrappers and binders and the whole gamut. So Justin's really put a lot of time
Yeah,
and
it's
energy into playing with different combinations,
mhm.
and
right. Yeah.
he's
Yeah. I mean, and that's part of the value of the relationship, right? It's not like we're just picking blends off a shelf and
Exactly,
putting it on.
exactly.
He's given us
It adds
that
a lot of
freedom,
value.
flexibility. Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because it's not the same. Like if you wanna start a project, a cigar brand, and you're not able to like really choose what you want. It's just like, oh, this is what I got for you. You just put a band on it
Yeah,
and call it a cigar brand. It's different than when you.
that
I'm not saying that you went to the factory and you actually sat down and you wrote. No, I mean, but you
yeah,
somehow you were part of the blend. You know, choosing the wrapper, the binder, the
sure.
fillers, and all of that, and it adds a lot of
Yeah,
value, especially when we do this type of podcasts and stuff like that. A lot of the viewers they like to hear that the brand owners somehow they're
yeah,
involved in the blending process. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
correct. Yeah,
yeah,
and it's like we want to be as involved as we can be, and sometimes I mean, I mean, it is kind of at an arm's length, sort of distance, because like you said, it's like yeah, we're not in Nicaragua a lot, but but when
yeah.
we record, the types of tobaccos that we want to play with, we have the luxury of being able to do that, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
And too,
it's fun for us.
he's almost like a stellar like chef. Like you tell me like I want a little bit more pepper, a little bit more of this. Give me a bit more
Yeah,
lahar,
of
please.
course.
A little bit more spice, and
Yes.
he like whips
Yeah,
it together and will give us three different samples to try, and we're like, oh, I like this, but can we
Mm-hmm.
do this? And he's gracious enough to
yeah,
continue to
it's
let us
patient.
Yeah.
nice.
put together the recipe. So
Yeah,
Hey, that's
And
awesome.
that type of relationship is it's very important because like a lot of people they gotta understand that even though you're not going to Nicaragua, because to go to Nicaragua you need time, you need money,
sure.
and not everybody can do that. But if you have a partner that he's doing your production and he's giving you the options where you can try different blends and he'll work with you to come up with like the type of blend that you guys are looking for, you don't need to go to Nicaragua or you don't need to
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
to the Dominican
it's
Republic or you
true.
don't need to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
it adds a lot of value because you're saving your own time, you're saving money by going to factories and stuff like that. Because a lot of people they're like, oh, if you don't go to the factory, so if you want to take out a blend and if you don't go to the factory yourself, you're not gonna have a good blend. I
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
I don't
Yeah,
agree with I don't
yeah,
agree with that.
I don't agree with
Um,
it.
yeah, this cigar, this one that I'm smoking right now, I haven't tried the Cameroon, but at least this one, it's a pretty good blend, and you didn't even
Yeah.
go to the factory. You know what I'm
Thank you.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
It
So
means a lot.
yeah, no, I mean, and that's what we gotta explain people because people have the misconception of like, oh, they never been to the factory, they don't know shit about cigars, they've never been to a tobacco field, what do they know about cigars? It doesn't matter. I never been to a factory, I never been to
Yeah,
Nicaragua, and I'm not an
yeah,
expert, but I think I have pretty good knowledge of
Yeah.
cigars
sure.
and blend stuff like that, you know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah,
Of
I mean,
course.
we do want to
Yeah,
go. We've just been
yeah.
advised for
Oh
safety reasons, to
yeah,
Yeah.
just a
To
little
only go
bit
with Z.
and
Yeah.
only go with
But,
Z. So
Yeah.
that is definitely on our our top
bucket
priority. But
list.
yeah,
yeah.
bucket list priority, all of that. But I think when you're working for somebody that's as reputable and skilled as he is, he can just he can manufacture just. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing what he can do, given like what we're looking
Yeah.
for, and
Of course.
all the combinations and things like that. So
Sure.
That's
And
awesome.
all about how many questions you want to ask. I mean, as far as cigar knowledge
Yeah.
goes, like every time we're around them, we're always asking questions, and just because that time is
Good stuff.
precious.
Of
So
course.
take advantage of it. But
Yeah,
yeah, man.
and
Go ahead.
Morales, I mean, there might be a lot of people that they don't know him, but he knows what he's doing. He's been around for a long time.
Oh,
It's just that he's not that type of guy to be flashing on Instagram stories and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He's more on the low, but he's a
yeah,
really good blender. I don't know him personally, but I've heard a lot of from a lot of people.
yeah.
And yeah, no, you have yourself a good partner, and I'm telling you, man. At least this one that I'm smoking right now, I'm pretty sure the other ones are the same. Cigar is badass.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a humility about
mhm.
Z, which I think is very rare in the industry. He's he won't bullshit you, but he at the same time he's very approachable, and he just approaches everything with humility. And to me, that means all the difference because
It
you
means a
guys
lot.
know, it's easy
Yeah.
to spout the ego in this industry, and there's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of it.
Oh, hey, yes, there
There's a
is.
lot of and we're blessed to be working with somebody where that's just not a part of our relationship. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of those. He doesn't have to sing it. He just brings it. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
sing it
That's
all.
that.
let cigars do the
Of course.
talking. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
So, so I have a question. So the 3 cigars, are they the same exact blend, just with a different wrapper, or are they each individual blends?
Yeah, they're each individual blends. Yeah. So
Oh,
like
okay, all right.
so the hear no, see no, speak no evil. Yeah. So the hear no evil is the Cameroon.
Yes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
and that is African seed Cameroon, by the way. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of Cameroon blends, it's African seed grown in Ecuador, but that's actually grown in
Yes.
Cameroon. It's authentic to the country
Okay.
there.
Nice.
But yeah, binder and filler, Nicaragua. See no evil, that's the San Andreas. Binder and filler from Nicaragua. Then you're smoking the Sumatra. The speak.
Can't wait to try that one.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
See No Evil, that San Andreas. I'm a lover for San Andreas wrappers, so I can't wait to try that one. I don't even know
Yeah.
why it showed this one. I should have chosen the other one first.
So is there so I know you have those 3 wrappers. Any reason why you didn't do a Connecticut one?
It's funny. Like we when we were with Blanco, we actually did put out a Connecticut, and
Okay.
that got rated, I think 94 or 5 by Stogie
Wow.
Press, like
Oh, wow.
2019. I think it got a really good rating.
Okay.
But no, we did put out a Connecticut with Z. We don't have it available right now.
Okay.
But we are going to bring it back.
Okay.
At the time I called it. It's funny because this was like back in 2020. We called the cigar "Not Your Granddaddy's Connie," and I only called it that because that was the first time I heard the term. I didn't know how
Okay.
common that term was. Everybody's Connecticut is not your granddaddy's Connie, and at the time, like I apparently was just unaware of that fact. So, like,
and here's the thing.
So I gotta change the name, and like I gotta change everything. That I'm gonna bring it back.
Yeah. All right, I hear that.
An ode to his grandpa, so it's got his grandfather's picture on it.
It is my grandfather's picture.
Because he used to smoke back. So there was a little bit more behind just calling it that, but the blend is great though, and people do love it. It's got a little pepper.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, to me, it lives up to the cliche name. It is definitely a more full-bodied Connecticut for sure, especially on the retro ale. Man, you get a pepper blast out of that thing. It's like a pepper creamsicle, how I like to describe it. So, yeah, we were doing torpedoes with that cigar, but yeah, that will. Here soon.
All right.
We just got the artwork and the name and all that. So.
All right. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So
we guys Connecticut?
We had. I'm not a Connecticut fan.
No, me either. I'm not a Connecticut.
No,
I was just the reason. Yeah, the reason why I was asking is because that's kind of like the traditional route that a lot of people take. Is like, all right, let's take a Connecticut, Maduro, and Habano. That's kind of like what everybody wants to bring out. So it was just, since you had the suit, and it's weird because it's like the 3 that you have aren't like necessarily besides the Mexican Andreas one. It's like not everybody is doing a Sumatra, not everybody's doing a Cameroon. So that's pretty unique in your way. So I'm actually happy that you guys went that route.
Yeah, something different. Something different.
And then we've got our Freedom Fighter that's coming back out, and that is a Brazilian Montepina wrapper.
All right. Man, that is a rich blend, man.
Oh, man. All right.
That's our top color for sure. So we're changing the Vitola and bringing it back since it was going to be limited.
Yeah, we did.
But it was so well received.
We did a Churchill. We did a 7x54 when we came out with it.
Okay. Wow. All right. Sheesh. All right.
Yeah, it was a kind of a monster, but we're tailoring it back to a 6x50. So we're just doing
just a little, right? Just a little.
But just to really get that wrapper. But man, it's funny because like on the topic of Vitolas, like that project actually started out as a Lancero project, and I'm a
Okay.
I don't know.
So
I mean,
good.
do you guys like Lanceros? Are you guys Lancero guys at all, or not
You
really?
know, Lanceros is very tough. Like either you love it or you don't.
Yeah,
And not all the master rollers they know how to do Lanceros. It's a very tough vitola to
it
do
is.
and to come out good. Um, I mean, I'll smoke a Lancero. I mean, I'm not saying I'll smoke anything. Lancero, Corona, whatever it is, except like Gordos and stuff like that. I'm not really big on into like big ring gauges cigar like 7 by 70, 8 by 80 and shit like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't feel comfortable with that.
Yeah,
So
What a
yeah.
bet
yeah,
happened with the Lancero is just, it's something about the ring gauge and the girth. They're like, it seems
Yeah.
feminine, or something. I don't know. Some guys are just like Lancero. Oh, and
yeah,
it's like
Yeah.
this particular one though. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. I told him to keep me a whole bundle back, and I think we ended up selling them. But it was box. They're both box press, and it was so
yeah.
amazing.
I may actually have a few left unbanded in my humidor. I'll just send them to you guys just for you guys to try them.
Wow, all right. Hey, definitely, man.
I have like I think I have like 5 or 10.
Oh man.
Okay, he's hiding
yeah,
now. See,
But no, man. But you're right though with Lanceros. Like the trick is like it's always about the draw with Lanceros, right? I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
it's
Mm-hmm.
so
Yep.
careful with balancing that filler
Yep.
when you're working with a 42 gauge. Like you don't have the wiggle room to really,
hmm
Mm-hmm.
But especially with a box press, like even with a box press
oh
cigar,
yeah,
you have to
Yeah.
underfill a box press. So being
Yes.
that it was a Lancero and a box press Lancero, like
Oh
making sure that
wow.
it was right and that ring gauge was critical.
Yeah.
But we got it though, man. And like for me, I I really gained an appreciation for Lanceros with doing that with the Montefina, just because being that you said that we don't have the luxury of being at the factory. A lot of people can just smoke pure wrapper leaf and just pure wrapper
uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
to really experience
Yeah.
it before they start blending with it. To me, like a Lancero is the closest I'll get to that, to really smoking just pure
Yeah.
wrapper.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's kind of a baseline, kind of like a measuring tool for me to see how a
Yeah.
blend will perform. you
yeah,
know so that's kind
yeah,
of how I looked at it. But yeah, the
yeah,
Lancero market, not a lot of people like them.
yeah. And a lot of people have that thinking, like Crystal said. A lot of guys they think it's a feminine thing if you smoke
Mm-hmm.
Lancero because I used to
Yep.
think like that 5 years ago. I remember I had a
Yeah.
friend that he was always smoking Lanceros, and every time I would rank on him, like be like, "Bro, why are you smoking women's cigars?" And he's like, "Bro, you gotta try Lancero." I'm like, "I ain't smoking that skinny shit.
Okay, weed
I
cigars.
wanna, I wanna smoking a cigar, you know." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Try it and try it and try." Until one day he really convinced me, and I tried. I think it wasn't my father. I don't remember which one was it. And I fell in love with it. I'm like, shit, man, I don't smoke Lanceros now. So I was criticizing this
Yeah.
guy before. Now I'll be smoking. But it's not a feminine thing.
Nah.
But you don't see a lot of guys. Like you go to a lounge, you're not gonna see. It's very rare to see a guy smoking a Lancero.
Yeah.
It is.
yeah,
It is.
which is why it's not one of our top,
Yeah.
core line because we want to sell cigars and
Yeah.
Yeah.
have so much
Yeah,
space on the
Yeah.
humidor. Then,
And
but
that's another thing that in my humidor, the reason why I don't really have Lanceros because they don't really fit in my humidors.
mm,
They do, but
Sure.
the way that I have my cigars like laid out, they just don't. It's like a puzzle. I would
yeah,
need to dedicate like a whole side to Lanceros, and I just don't have that many. So yeah, that's
Right.
a good point as well.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah. But anyway, we're excited to bring the Freedom Fighter back, and hopefully
Awesome.
it's going to be back in before December, which we're excited about. So,
no, nice. Justin,
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because I've seen a couple of pictures on Instagram about a cigar from your portfolio with the logo that you have on the shirt.
yeah.
Which
That's
That's
one
the
is
the
yeah,
that
Freedom
that's
one?
Fighter,
it.
right?
The
Oh,
Freedom Fighter.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
But what cigar is that?
that's the Montefina blend.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
nice.
back
I've
out.
seen it.
So
I've seen a lot of people saying they love that cigar. Yeah,
So
But
that's a
the
badass
X is
logo.
the End It movement. That's kind of a general term for ending human trafficking. And then
okay,
locally,
Oh,
kind of our coalition was called Freedom Fighters. And so we were part of that. And so we said, hey, we're going to do a cigar. You guys don't care, right? And they're like, no, no, do it. And so we came up, Justin came up with the Bloody Knuckle and the End
nice.
It movement. And
yes.
it lives up to its name with Packing a Punch. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
for
A
sure.
100%.
That's
Yes.
awesome, man.
Now,
And do
now
you
my
guys are you guys actually selling those shirts that you have them
Yeah.
available or?
Yeah, I need to start promoting them more on Instagram. I
Okay,
don't,
yeah.
but yeah,
No,
but yeah, they are
I would definitely be interested in purchasing one, man. I'll definitely support you
cool,
guys.
man.
I'll purchase one. Definitely,
And
Thank
man.
you
you.
and you too can pick up your kids from preschool in these shirts. There's always like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't get it, but you will.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you guys have any like events that you guys have coming up? Like any events anywhere? Are you guys traveling to anywhere soon?
Yeah. We're actually going to Memphis at the beginning of November for a Cut and Lights
Okay.
Mhm.
fair.
Smokers Abbey,
Smokers
Memphis. It's a
Abbey.
great
Nice.
lounge,
Okay.
killer lounge. Um, and then we have CNS Cigars in Gastrop, Texas, that we're going to be going to in January for a cut and light.
Nice.
So
Oh
And then we
wow.
have
Okay.
local ones that are coming up on the books too at some of our local lounges. I
Okay.
just dropped off some cigars to a local lounge that we have been trying to get into for the last several years, and today
they're
I
tough. They're tough.
dropped them
Oh,
off
wow.
and
Wow.
in
Congrats.
there. So
Congrats.
You.
I think
Yeah.
every week
Yes.
a few more lounges, which is always exciting.
Okay.
No matter how big or how small, to be able to just expand the brand. And then we always try to do a cut and light to just help introduce customers there,
Yes,
and
of
then
course.
always to our really loyal shops, we want to honor them and do one. So it's fun to be out and mingle and talk to people and thank them for the support, because if they're not buying the cigars, then
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a shaking hands industry,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it's very personable. So we don't, we do plan on traveling more because historically we really haven't traveled that much, but I think that's changing. So
And we have a blend that we did a collaboration with the Cigar Clowns. It's called Goldie Grace, and
Yes.
she's been
You stole my thunder.
you guys interviewed them already, right? The
Yes, we
clowns.
does. We
yeah,
definitely
Yeah,
did.
well,
Yep, we definitely did.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
saving that question. I was saving the question, but Crystal went
Yeah.
ahead and she
Too, I'm
said,
sorry.
Sorry, cut us off if we're talking too much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
"Yeah, it's
No,
all
no,
right."
no, no.
Yeah,
That's
we
fine.
had
That's fine.
yeah.
Well,
Our
we
last
did a cool.
podcast was with the Cigar Clowns. Yeah, great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love those guys.
Oh man, they're the homies, man. They're awesome.
yeah. We
But,
we go to
yeah.
Disney now with Joe, like at least probably twice a year, and
Oh,
like it's just fun. We call
Yeah.
him Uncle. Like my kid loves him, and he's a lot of fun. But on the topic of cigars, though, we kind of did like this big press tour, like across the U.S. with influencers and different podcasts, and it was
Good
so well
stuff.
received. So she's just like taken over,
Goldie's making her mark. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
So I think there's going to be a
Yes.
lot more events and collaborations with Goldie that will hopefully, will gain some momentum, because she's an all-star. So
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh
I
man, good
added the
stuff.
I started working with Cigar Clowns. I added the Cigar Clowns line on the store, and the Goldie Grays. They only lasted like 2 days,
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
sold out.
that's a great problem to have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a great problem.
Definitely
Yeah.
is.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
bringing her on. Great.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. But
Yeah.
and
Any
and how you guys met the clowns?
how do we meet? We went to a cigar event. I think it was in 2022.
Well, let me back up for a second. We both had mutual respect for each other because we had smoked several Cigar Clown cigars and really liked
Okay.
them. And they
Yeah,
had
like
smoked some of our freedom fighters and some of our stuff, and they appreciate us. And Oakland Tobacconists had actually rated our cigars. They do a big poll with like 500 of their members.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And the
yes.
fighter first place.
Cigar Clowns.
Wow. Awesome.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
we were like,
all right.
hey, like we beat you, but no, I'm just kidding.
No.
We're honored.
That's all right. That's all right.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, you gotta, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
But then, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but listen, big shout out to the Cigar Clowns. Big shout out to Cigar Clowns. They're great people.
They're blowing. They're really.
Yeah, and yeah, Ray. You know, the one that I met. You know, first was Ray, and then I met Joe. Great guys. I met Danny on the podcast for the first time.
Yeah.
And you know, because we're doing a podcast about Chaffiott cigars, it doesn't mean that we cannot give a shout out to other brands, especially Cigar Clowns. They have great cigars. You gotta check out Cigar Clowns. We smoked the Rodeo Clown. Amazing cigar.
Oh my god! Yeah.
And when they told us that they did a collaboration with you guys, I was like, shit. To Chaffiott then.
Yeah, man, it was a blessing. We were totally honored to be working with them. It's a great partnership, and yeah, I think you're gonna see more collaborations between us and them. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man.
But Eric, to answer your initial question, Eric from Oakland Tobacconists introduced us together back in 22 at a cigar event, and then we just had exchanged information, and we both kind of talked about the idea of potentially doing a collaboration blend together, and about a year went by. We were still just kind of going back and forth about it. And then mid to late 23 is when we decided to pull the trigger on Golden Grace and get her out there. So how that landed. But
we had many calls, just like Zoom calls where we're all smoking different test blends and talking about it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Concepts and pictures, and I mean it's been a great process. It's been a lot of fun. I mean they're super easy to work with, and they're great businessmen, and got great passion. So,
they know cigars very well.
Yeah.
So
and they got the they got their following, their platform, and everybody seems to love Cigar Clowns.
Yeah, they built.
And it's always good to. Oh yeah. I remember back then, Justin, like I'm saying, like 2021, playing COVID. I remember when they started like really hitting, Instagram and all that, and they will go live. I remember when they were gonna release the three ring circus, something like that. And I remember people going crazy mad on the website. I forgot what website it was. I think it was that one that you mentioned. What's it? Glenn?
Oakland Tobacco.
What's his name in California? The guy?
Eric.
That one. And and the website was collapsing and shit like that. And bro, it was crazy. But it's always good to see.
Yeah.
Look at that burn, man. This thing's burning beautifully, man.
Look at the color of the.
Dude, love it. I love it, man. Love it.
Thanks, man. But
and it's always good to see two brands doing a collaboration.
Yes. Yeah, which kind of like leads into the next question. Any collabs with like any other brands out there that you guys have in the future, or you're just kind of like focusing on your own thing?
Yeah, I think we have enough on our plate right now. With our limited capacity, just to keep working with the clowns, and then to keep focusing on our core lines, our branding with Chaffiot, and so that's plenty of work right there for the two of us. But with that being said, I think Crystal and I are the same mindset that we're very opportunistic, and if the right opportunity comes to the door, we'll take a look.
Yeah. I mean, Justin's got a plethora of cigars in his mental file cabinet that he just is would love to get out there. So I'd love to see him add a couple more to our core line this year, and rebrand a couple that we have. We have a brother keeper that we're looking at reblending, and that was a great cigar, but we think it could be a little bit better. So
Okay.
I'd love to see that come back, and maybe roll out a couple of the concepts that he's got with a
Yeah,
great cigar.
definitely. Are there any
Yeah.
are there, I mean, and I know you don't want to, not to release any information or anything like that, but are there any wrappers or any type of tobaccos out there that you kind of like interested in making, like working at Dominican cigars or anything like that, like from any other country? Anything out there that you want to test?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do. We recently we did a Pennsylvania broadleaf, and that was my first time
Okay.
working with
Oh yeah.
broadleaf, which was
Oh yeah.
which was a really fun experience. We did
Okay.
it with that was a Perfecto Vitola that we started, and we actually wound up landing at a 6x52, so couldn't be more opposite Vitolas.
Yeah.
But I think broadleaf, I'm pretty
Okay.
interested. I'd like to look at
Okay.
Connecticut broadleaf. I know the wrapper's expensive.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, they
so,
are. I was just
Super
about to say,
expensive
like, broadleaf is
yeah,
expensive. Yeah.
it's
and
so
hard to
expensive.
get too.
And it is too, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's kind of where I've been really thinking lately, with broadleaf.
Okay.
What was that one
Outside
cigar
of
that you loved though? If Z could get this, that was it Costa Rica? What cigar was it that you were like, this is one of I think it was Costa Rican. I don't know, it was Costa Rican, it wasn't Dominican. That one particular cigar that you were just like, the El Salvador, was it Salvador?
No, it was
And he was like, if I could work with this particular
it was El Septimo, I think was what it was. The
Oh,
Salvador
okay.
cigar.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've only had it one time, but yeah, but that cigar was pretty impressive to me, and I've never
Okay.
had Costa Rican tobacco before, so like I don't know if that's more like kind of like a trendy, cool thing in
What
the
was the name
industry.
of it?
El Septimo, I believe is
Oh,
the
El
brand.
Saltimo. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and they have yeah, I think the cigar is called the Salvador Dali, I think is what it is. But yeah, that struck me as a very rich cigar, and with Costa Rican tobacco, and I was like, wow, and that was if Costa Rican tobacco is that rich, how rich that cigar was, then I may want to look at that.
See, I
So
listened.
Yeah.
I listened
Okay.
to these things. Didn't even remember.
Yeah.
yeah,
The thing with Costa Rican tobacco is, um, well, they've been producing tobacco for for some time now, but they're not like Dominican or Nicaragua. They've been around for many many years, and Costa Rican tobacco is expensive. Like if you look at the brands that they do Costa Rican tobacco, like El Septimo, Bandoleros, Byron, and Arabe, they're
Árabe,
pretty
yeah.
expensive. You're talking about
Yeah,
like
they are.
$50 a stick, $60
Yeah.
a
it's pretty
cigar.
expensive.
Be-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
because supposedly the secret behind all this is supposedly they grow. Supposedly, when they do the blends out of Costa Rica, they use Cuban tobacco. Supposedly, nobody can prove that. And supposedly, that's why when you smoke one of these Arabes or you smoke one of these Byrons, when you look at the info, you're not gonna see
Hmm.
on the binder on the filler. You're not gonna be able to find information. It's not it's NA. It's not
Yeah.
available because
Interesting.
supposedly that's the secret behind that.
Hmm.
Interesting. See, I don't know anything about Costa Rican tobacco, but if and I need to have more Costa Rican blends because again, that was the
Yeah,
only one I had, but that one struck me as pretty impressive. So, um, but yeah, I just need to do more research on it and look at it more.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
You
mean,
know,
do you feel like the Cuban cigars, that the lore is still just that they're not as, that it's inaccessible to some degree? Because from what I hear, they're not resting the soil as much, and so the quality, control isn't always there. And then, in Nicaragua, they're using Cuban seed, but a lot of people moved from Cuba and are now doing it in Nicaragua. So you think it's just the illusion of like it being such a Cuban cigar.
The problem with Cuban tobacco is that a couple years ago, the Chinese, they went into Cuba and they bought over 50% of Habanos.
Right.
So basically, what Cuba is doing right now is that the good productions, they're all being sent to Asia, and then the rest of the production, which is the mediocre production, is the one that they're sending to Europe and South America and other places that they don't have any sort of how do you say, dilemma or issues with Cuba. Not like the United States, that we cannot get Cuban tobacco here; it's illegal.
Right.
That's what's happening. And the other thing that is happening is on the production line, the Cuban workers in Cuba, since they don't even pay them, they don't really put passion into rolling cigars and caring about quality and stuff like that. Because if you smoke a Cuban from 2019 and up, and you smoke a Cuban from 2018 and down, the difference is it's incredible. Like right now, a lot of people are paying $100, $200 for a Cohiba, a Cuban Cohiba, and I don't even think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently,
I wouldn't trade a Nicaraguan tobacco for a Cuban one.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
Apparently, the Asian market's a huge cigar population. I didn't realize they were as large of a. John from Madre was telling us that they are just a huge market for cigar smokers.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay. I don't know why that didn't struck me as I was like, really? But I mean,
so there you go.
And at the end of the day, like if you're used to smoking Nicaraguan, I talk about Nicaragua because that's what I like. I smoke a couple of Dominicans, but my thing is Nicaragua. Like if you're used to smoking Nicaraguan cigars, when you smoke a Cuban, you're not really gonna be satisfied because you're gonna be like, shit, something is missing here. The strength and the pepper and all these things that even though like Crystal said, yeah, they're using Cuban seed, but they're growing it in Nicaragua. The Nicaragua soil is completely different than the one in Cuba. The Nicaragua soil, it's a volcanic country where they have volcanoes, shit like that, and it gives it different type of minerals and different, it's a different thing. So, you want to spend the money like that, go ahead, but I'll stay with Nicaragua.
That's what I always say is, oh well, I got a Cuban, and I'm like, okay, enjoy that,
Yeah. Right. A lot of people flash Cubans. They're like, oh shit, look at what I'm smoking. You know what I mean? But
let me know when you're done with that, and I'll give you one of ours.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the way it is.
I feel like Cuban cigars too. I feel like they're very it's overwhelming with florals a lot of the time, which I do like floral, elements, in the flavor. But the Cubans, every time I've had one, I just felt like there was an overwhelming sense of floral note, which but I'm not crazy.
I like tasting leather and pepper.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting with the Nicaraguan. That's exactly why I pretty much echo what Yosli said. I mean, I've been smoking Nicaraguans now probably for like a good solid 2 years. I was always into the Dominican cigars. That's kind of like before I got into the Wolfpack club. That's all I was smoking, Dominican, and then kind of like Yosli put me on to like, try Nicaraguan and all of this, and I'm like, all right, I'll try it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of like haven't looked back. So, dude, it's just something about the spicy. My god, I just love the spice, the pepper, dude. I just love it. I mean, I love it, and I stick to it, and that's why I'm loving this one right now. The Cameroon wrapper, dude. This cigar is excellent to me, man.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
10 times I feel bad every time he's like, "I'm gonna." They're talking again.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, it all comes down to like preferences and spend on this, because at
Yeah.
the end of the day, this is a lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And going back to the Cuban thing, they've taken advantage of the name and the history that Cuba has producing cigars. That they've been doing cigars since the 1800s, and that's why the prices. But um, you know, you go to Europe, you go to Asia. Like I have a friend that he's from Hong Kong. He went to Hong Kong, I believe. He went to Hong Kong in March this year, and he started sending me pictures of a lounge that he went into about the prices of the cigars. And I'm like, dude, how are you even smoking in Hong Kong? You're spending that money because you're talking about $300 USD, not Hong Kong dollars. I'm talking about USD, $300 for a single stick. I'm like, dude, you're
Wow.
insane. You know how many cigars I can buy here for $300?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot.
I
Yeah,
mean, that could be a monthly budget.
you
I
can
mean,
buy
Yeah.
3 sake unicorns for $300.
Yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, but yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, man.
and that's the
Yeah,
thing. I mean, like, even with our cigars, you can have a very good quality cigar, and it doesn't have to be 15, even $20. A lot of people think, oh, the higher price it is, the better cigar it must be,
No.
and it's
Yeah.
like, if you're a cigar enthusiast, like you're gonna be spending some flow every month anyways, but like make it count. Don't
Mm-hmm.
think that there's not good cigars out there for under 15, because
there
Yeah.
are.
are.
There are.
And we we stress that every time we do a podcast, like for the people that view us on the podcast and they follow us on Instagram, we always are telling people, please check out the boutique cigars, because a lot of people are like, nah, boutique cigars this and boutique cigars that. Man, let me tell you, I used to think like that 5 years ago, right before COVID. I was only smoking like legacy brands and shit like that until COVID came in. We started working from home. I was like, fuck, like, I want to try something different because I'm smoking
Yeah.
every day now, several times a day, working from home. And then I
Yeah,
started getting into the boutique world, and I was like, damn, what I was missing, because there's a lot of people that they don't understand boutique brands. They can offer you quality. They can offer you
Yeah.
really, really, really good cigars.
I guess
absolutely.
that's the one good thing that came out of COVID, right? Is
Oh
people get
yeah,
to work
Yeah.
cigars and,
It definitely did.
pay more attention to social media and what's going
Yeah.
on, and find
Yeah,
some new stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I mean, for
Definitely.
us, like, word of mouth is our budget. We've
Mm-hmm.
been fortunate to give over like $12,000 to local charities that fight human trafficking.
Nice.
oh wow.
Um, but
Beautiful.
we could have. Some people would use that for their marketing budget, and we we have word
Yeah.
of mouth. Like our cigars, please share. And that's really, I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of boutique companies. That's how it really, the fire does start. Is just telling somebody like, hey, check this out. This is a great smoke, and
Yeah.
uh,
Exactly,
so we
exactly.
always
What am I?
appreciate,
yeah,
always appreciate that.
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah,
No, and the good thing that I like is again is just the story behind it. Like when we were mentioning it earlier, everybody wants to hear a story about the cigars and all of that. And I think you guys have just like a genuine, kind of like story and like, just kind of like what you're, up against, like fighting up against. And some people try to invest all their money in these shows, the PCAs and all of these other shows that you're wasting thousands and thousands of dollars. Meanwhile, you guys are over here just, trying to donate, some of the proceeds and all of that to like a movement, you know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah, it
instead
really,
of,
yeah,
spending all of this money on a show, it's like, you know what, let's use what we have, the social media, like the word of mouth and all of that, and let's try to make a difference. And definitely I appreciate you guys, man. I mean, for taking that route.
Hey,
That's
man.
a
Well,
beautiful thing.
thank you for saying that. And
Yeah.
we got you guys, man. We appreciate you guys too. Like it's people like you that really bless us and help us, to get the
Yeah.
word out. we're so glad that you guys reached out, and we're very, very grateful. So, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. Just the word of mouth connection is really what we've been trying to capitalize on. But if, like you said, if there's sincerity behind it, like you typically will get a good response. You typically will get a good response from people. A lot of marketing is just wasted money, in my opinion.
Definitely.
With that we have here now. So.
But I mean, that's why we had to cut. We had to make sure our product was really good, because we didn't just want to be a hoaxy, like we're having a mission and here's a cigar. Like, go ahead. I mean, we were the first to come out with that, and now there are, a couple other, brands that are doing that. But it's like the longevity of, eating the elephant one bite at a time and making sure the quality's or what the money's going to is legit people that are not just awareness talks, but I mean really putting survivors in homes and
doing real work.
That's we always make sure that every penny is to the real organizations, because there's so many out there that just do all
of course.
Listen,
at the end of the day, there's not enough safe homes in Florida. I mean, in our county, there is there's like 3, and they're putting survivors in tiny homes now. And but there's just, even if everybody thinks like, oh, you just rescue the survivors, and it's like, no, you gotta help them and give them somewhere to go, like intense therapy. And it's a significant undertaking that takes money. And people think like, talk about all we want, but unless there's money and movement, then it's just another cause that goes kind of under the radar. So I mean, you guys know you're in Miami. I mean, we're one of the counties that it feels very safe, very family oriented, but we're one of the highest trafficking counties in Florida, in Brevard, and I think Miami is right up there too. But it goes California, Texas, Florida. And so that means, people are being trafficked right under our noses. There's buyers, there's sellers, there's Johns. And it's like, while we're smoking the cigar, there's like over, I think, 30 or 40 women being, solicited into sex trafficking. So it's like, we don't like to be the downer, but at the same time, with the platform, it's like we gotta let people know, like, this is real, it's happening, it's not like the movie Taken. And people always ask like, well, what can I do to help? We're like, okay, you can buy our cigars, and then
pretty much.
But I always tell people, the second thing you can do is quit watching pornography. If you quit watching pornography, that'll cut down on human trafficking by like
100%.
And a lot of that pornography is actually people being trafficked. So a lot of guys at events, whoa, and I'm like, I know it's uncomfortable. How do you like
it's true.
But like,
every time we mention them, let's get awkward. It's gonna be fun.
I know, but it's true. So
it is true. And it's like
it's a real thing, especially with kids, man. Especially with kids.
Oh, big time. Hey, if you follow,
you guys seen the news? You guys seen the news? I don't want to mention the name here. I don't want YouTube to like block us or anything. I don't want to mention the name of this famous rapper now that he's in jail and all the allegations against him. And I heard a press conference. I forgot the name of the guy, that he was saying that they have a huge list of names that whenever they're ready to like file the cases, the whole community in the United States, they're gonna be shocked when they hear the names behind all of this shit. So it's a real thing.
No, I've heard the same thing too.
A lot of people don't believe in this shit.
I feel like it's the same formula that Epstein used is what was kind of what I'm smelling. I think there was a lot of blackmail, involved. But
that list hasn't come out, and I just wonder if that particular rapper is going to make it in jail. You know what I mean? Like, people don't want that to come out, because it goes high and wide and deep. I mean, it is everywhere. And like, when people think about kids being trafficked, it's usually people they know. It's familial. It's not like they just stolen off the streets. So we always tell people too, like, watch your kids on social media, because that's the number one, draw.
Tool for grooming.
And then
definitely,
see something, say something, because kids are getting trafficked at night, and then they go to school and they go to church and they go to all these things, and they're being sold at night, and it's like it's right in
Yeah.
front of us. And if
Right
we
in
just
front of
paid
them.
and we could,
Yeah. No,
nice
no,
time,
and again, yeah, and
but
yeah. No, I mean, and when Yosli even like mentioned this one, I was like, you know what, I definitely I'm looking forward to this because I'm a father of three. I have two daughters, and even with my son, and it was like one of the things that yeah, my kids are a little older. One of them is 21, and the other one is gonna be 20. But I remember all the years that they were going out to go to school and all that, getting on the bus and all of that, and it was like you're always
Yeah,
worried about that because
and
it's like
stress.
we
Yeah,
were always on top of like the social media. We were always on top of that, like my wife and I, and it was like when I heard about this, I'm like, dude, I'm all for this. Like, I'll promote
yeah,
this all day, every day. You know what I mean? Because that's real.
It is
I've
real.
known people that have gone through that. You know, thank God that my family has never gone through that, but I do know people that have gone through that. Like through just growing up in New York and because I'm originally from New York and just knowing people over there that have gone through that, dude, it's a serious thing. So I definitely commend you guys for your move, for you guys working toward this movement, man. And whatever we can do to kind of like assist and just put the word out, you could definitely count on us with that.
Dude, thank you.
yeah,
Thank you, bro.
I think if people
Of
can
course.
look at it like someone's daughter or niece, if you have
Mm-hmm.
kids, you would literally die for them, and it's like there
Yeah.
are people that are dying every day. I mean, the average span of someone in sex slavery, sex trafficking is 7 years. So after 7 years, they
Yeah.
die to either
yeah,
drugs or STDs or their bodies just completely giving out. And it's like these
Yeah.
are like children every
Yep.
day, and we're kind of like
every day,
we should do
every
Yeah.
day.
something. And
And
no, we need to get pissed off.
Yeah. So like with
We need
our,
to get pissed.
I know. If if you go back in our social media, I haven't been as vocal as I used to be, but I'm about to start ramping it up again just because I feel like I have a lot to say in that arena. But
Yes,
yeah, I
of
mean,
course.
we like to talk about the mission just as much, sometimes if not more than our cigars, because I mean we just got to stay true to our convictions, like why we started this in the first place. We do absolutely have a love for cigars. We love cigar
Yeah.
culture, but we hate human trafficking, and we're
Definitely.
it's the combination of those two things. So yeah, but we are pretty vocal about it, I think, on our social, and we've gotten some flack for that too. I think a few times in the past.
I kind of look at it like, look, if you have a
Um,
problem with
that's all right.
fighting human trafficking, then
Yeah.
don't be our customer. Like, I don't care,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
then you probably
Yep.
out fine. So bye.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
see you later.
Well, I mean, you guys know as well as we do. I mean, a large part of the cigar industry is very sexualized. It's over
Mm-hmm.
sexualized in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, if I called, I have, called out some of the bullshit that I see with that, and it pissed some people off, but that's okay. It
Hey,
is
you
what it
gotta
is.
do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta do it.
yeah, you know, that's it.
Well, and
But
if you have
Yeah, man.
to use your boob to sell cigars, then I don't know. Maybe they're not that good.
Yeah.
like,
The boob might be good, but maybe the
Gotcha.
cigars
No,
aren't. I don't
you're
know.
hey,
like
you're
that's
100%
the
correct. I mean, yeah.
it's like, dude, like the
Yeah.
cigars, and
You're 100.
I've always said, like, yeah, sex sells, but it also can cheapen. You know what I mean? So, and
yeah,
this is
Yeah.
something I see cheapen. Like, with you think about how much work that goes into this.
Yeah.
Like, don't cheapen it by trying to sell smut to me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's just how I kind of see it.
Yeah.
So, but
That's our soapbox.
yeah, sorry, those are soapbox. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I remember seeing a picture of like a girl, and she had like a cigar between her cleavage. I was like, it costs nothing to flash a pair, but it costs a lot of
uh,
time and money to create what you're holding between it. You know
Yeah.
what I
oh yeah,
mean? Like, it's
I'm
just
a and I'm gonna be honest with you. The other day I was actually on social media and I was sitting next to
yeah,
my wife and I opened up because I have two pages. I got my personal and then I got the cigar one. And I was on the cigar page and all of a sudden it was like a woman popped up and she wasn't even holding a cigar.
I
It was just a
know.
female, like in lingerie. And I was like, and I showed my wife, and I told my wife, can you tell me what does this have anything to do with like cigars? And the
Yeah.
minute I saw that, I just unfollowed the page. I unfollowed the page, and I was like, there's just no room for that in this. Like for me, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't want
Same.
to see that. You know what I
No,
mean? It's just like,
they're trying to
Same.
like pick fights. Like, you're sitting there,
yeah,
like, why are all these women coming up on your thing? And it's like, dude, they just come up
exactly.
all the time. And I'm like, whoa, where
Yeah.
did this
And
come
that's the thing. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to look at cigar stuff. I'm not trying to look at that stuff. There's a time and a place for that. But right now,
Sure.
like, this is not it. And again, if
Yeah.
that's what they want to use for their marketing scheme, hey, I'm whatever makes money for you and you're
Yeah.
happy with it, I'm cool with that.
The free
But
country. You
for
do what
me,
you
that's
want.
just not me. And again, and it's one of those
Same.
things that if you don't like what I'm doing, just unfollow me. And that's exactly what I did. I just unfollowed that page and kept it moving. I just keep scrolling for the rest of them. But
Yeah.
again,
That's
yeah,
that's our approach too, man. 100%.
Yeah, at
yeah.
least put a cigar in there. If you're gonna do all that, at least have a cigar.
That was my whole thing. It's like if you're gonna do that, then at least like show me what you're selling, because maybe I'll be interested in it after you show me what you got. But if you're just
Yeah.
showing me like that there's a time and a place for that. Again, this is my cigar page. I'm not trying to do that. um Whatever, so I just kept it moving. But again, man, I definitely applaud you guys for taking that approach. Me, I belong to a fraternity and we do a lot of stuff with kids, so we're definitely like, I'm all for this. I'm all for the movement that you guys are doing. So I just applaud you guys for doing whatever you can to kind of like assist in it. You're not gonna solve it, but at least you're doing your part
Yeah.
to try to help
Oh
it.
yeah, exactly.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate it,
I
guys.
think if
Of
everybody does a
course,
little
man.
bit, a long ways. I mean, it
Yeah,
takes
definitely.
army really, and that's what we're trying to do is really create an army of passionate people, and especially in the cigar community, because we know that cigar enthusiasts are loyal and they're
Yep.
passionate. So if we can
Yeah.
just take a little bit of that and funnel that, then
Yeah.
they better watch out. Better watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. If you got those t-shirts for sale, let me know, man. I'll buy one. I'll promote
Yeah,
it, dude. I'll wear it. Just
Man, thank
give
yeah.
me, and I'll even put the link on the YouTube video. Whatever you guys need, man. I'm all for it, dude. I'm all for anything positive, man. I'm a big believer in, I don't like speaking about religion and all of that, but I'm a big believer in positive energy. And whatever
Sure.
you guys are doing, that's positive. I'm all
Yeah,
for it, man. I'll definitely spread the love on that.
That's awesome, man.
Well,
Very
we
cool.
yeah.
agree on that positivity and
That's for
all
sure.
that. We can have
So
an
if any,
our
if
conversations
if
sometime.
yeah, if anybody's interested in trying Chaffiott cigars, where can they find it?
Oh, where can we find it? Yeah, so ChaffiotCollection.com, obviously,
Okay.
our website. Hit us up there. Is it cigarsagainsttrafficking.org?
.com.
Cigarsagainsttrafficking.com as well.
That's really
Okay.
just information and kind of educating people if they're looking to learn
Yeah.
more about
The more
that.
missional side, I guess.
And we
Yeah.
also have our brick and mortars for the most part where you need to update them.
Like a lounge.
We will go to your local brick and mortar, and if we're not there, ask. And then
Yeah.
we love supporting lounges and
And
shops.
obviously, our
Yeah.
our Instagram is our main social media platform. Chaffiot Collection Cigars on Instagram. Give us a follow there. Facebook as well. And yeah, that's really about it. I know there's
Any plans on coming?
I don't know. I've heard.
Any plans on coming to the
Sorry, go ahead.
Northeast? I'm in Pennsylvania. Any plans on coming up to the Northeast?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Who was it? Kyle. Yeah, we're looking at shops in Pittsburgh actually here soon.
Okay.
So
That's a little bit further out. I'm in Allentown. I'm in the Allentown area.
okay.
That's
Yeah,
more
man.
to the east of the PA.
Okay. Gotcha.
Well, we definitely
Gotcha.
know we owe. We told the clowns we'd get up to their neck of the woods, so we might just have to do a little tour or something while we're
Hey,
Yeah.
whenever you guys, I believe they're in Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, whenever you guys are around, let me know.
Yeah.
I will definitely make that trip out there to support you guys.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and
Of
like I
course, of
said,
course.
we have ambassadors that we send them cigars and have them smoke with their local lounge owners, and so
Okay.
if that's something that's interesting, then we certainly can
Yeah,
appreciate that. You got to sit down and take the time, and a lot of
Yeah.
times cigars shuffled
definitely.
around.
Of course,
Want
of course.
to get
Yeah.
in the maker's hands, but we've got a lot of passionate people, and it's served us well to be able to say like, hey, we will give you cigars, and they've taken them to lounges and gotten us in there, and it's been awesome. So
Yeah, it's cool,
That's
man.
that's
It's
amazing. That's
cool working with
amazing.
people who really just believe in the product, and they're like, it's like I wish we had like enough money to pay them, but they're like, dude, like if you just give me some cigars, like
Oh
I'm
man.
happy forever in the
Yeah.
store. I'm like, dude, pay you cigars, you
Yeah.
pay for cigars, so that's cool.
That's true,
Like,
man. That's true.
like
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
so
I mean, just kind of like mentioning the lounges and all of that. When you approach a lounge and you kind of like, they find out the story. Have you guys received any like negative, kind of like? And I'm not talking about negative, like, oh, I don't want your product in my store. Like, is this something that they're like, you know what? I don't really want to mix with that stuff. Are you seeing any of that, or has everything kind of like just been positive for you guys?
no,
not really. No,
yeah,
I mean, I think whether they lead with the mission is kind of up to them. So
Yeah.
we it doesn't say it on. I think it does say it on all of our boxes.
our current boxes.
I mean, yeah, and we have a lot of lounge owners that reach out to us starting with the mission, and then we send them samples because they want to see if the cigars live up to
Yeah,
the
Yeah. Yeah.
mission.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of been the other way around as far as more people being passionate about the mission and then saying like,
Oh,
hey,
nice.
we try the cigars. But I don't think you have anybody that's been against it.
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, that's a beautiful
Oh,
thing. Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I echo that. I mean, I think it's been pretty well received and it's been welcomed
Beautiful.
actually. We really started the
Beautiful.
conversation, so it's been great feedback for us.
I think people are waking up to what's going on. Like it was kind of a buzz like term for many years. Even when we got started, we were doing so much more education and awareness. People just didn't realize what trafficking was or that it's happening in their
Yeah.
communities, and people are waking up to
Yeah.
that. And so they're like, hell no, I don't know. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And so they're almost like, oh, good. Okay, this is something that we can do in our lounge. So I think it's been a good thing.
And that's good because I understand that you go to these lounges and some of these lounges are not that big. There's only a certain amount of shelf space that they have, and of course you're
Sure.
always gonna have the legacy brands there, in the middle
always
sections and all of that.
sure.
And I'm pretty sure Yosley's been to a million lounges, and I'm pretty sure he's run into the same situation. You go there and sometimes you see boutique brands. Dude, I've seen boutique brands on the floor. Like they just don't
Yeah.
have the shelf
Yeah.
space for it. So
Yeah.
for you guys to just getting that response from the lounges that they're like, you know what, I'm in it. That's what I love hearing, man. I hate hearing those stories that is like, dude, these guys want me to buy. No, I don't have time for that. But for them to actually be reaching out to you and like, you know what, I'm interested. That's a beautiful thing, man. Again, I applaud that.
I mean, and don't
Thank
get
you.
me wrong, we're still fighting for humidor space because it's a
Oh yeah,
very
of course, of course, of
you
course.
like if it's not a household name and people aren't coming in and asking for it. I think that's where the community plays such a big part. Is like a couple
Yeah.
of lounges are like, oh, and I was like, just I promise you. And then they're like, oh, we sold out, and I'm like, yeah, people are coming to ask for it. So I think
Yeah.
like the more the brand spreads, then people will go in and buy it, and that shows them. But if not, then no, they're like, I can sell 1 million of
Yeah.
the legacy line. So it is tough to fight for shelf space. I
Oh,
mean,
definitely. Yeah.
especially a brand that is not a household name. So
Yeah,
we're still
Yeah.
fighting.
we are. I mean, I think one thing that's been encouraging, like you said, going back to like the Cigar Clowns partnership, and not just the Cigar Clowns, like really just getting other encouragement from other boutique
Oh, yeah.
companies. Like the boutique world, I would say for the most part is very supportive of one another, and I think
Yeah.
the interaction I've had with other companies, it's hey man, like yeah, I've tried that too, that didn't work for me. Try this instead, see how this works for you. It's a lot of give and take. Which I welcome that and receive that, and so I just like the positive dialogue between different companies, that we've had, So
Awesome.
we all want to
Awesome.
help each other out. We're all. I think there's plenty enough to eat, for everybody.
Of
I don't
course.
think we
Of
have to,
course.
be fighting and scrambling over each other's backs, in a negative
Oh
way to
yeah.
get ahead. I think there's enough room for all of us, and we just have to do it together. So,
Yeah.
And the more people wake up to boutique blends too, like it's like getting off it's like baby steps. It's like milk, like the legacy brands, and then it's like, oh, let me try a little bit of food, and then next thing you know, you're
Yeah.
like, oh gosh, where have I been? And then so that's
Yeah.
really cool.
and then you hear people like Steve Saka,
100%.
who's like, "I will eat you alive."
Yeah.
Do not like,
Yeah.
which I love Steve Saka, by the way. Like, I love listening to his
Yeah.
interviews, and I love his
Yeah.
cigars. They're
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
And
he
holy
makes
shit,
great,
he
great
fires me up though
cigars.
every time I listen to him in a good way. like,
Yeah.
He knows a lot about cigars, and he makes really good blends. Steve
Oh, his
Saka,
cigars are
great,
phenomenal,
great blends.
fantastic, and he's an
Phenomenal.
icon. It deserves to be.
Yeah.
Like, you can't take that away from the man. He's done his
No,
time.
no.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But
motivating.
yeah, yeah. Like going back to like the show space, I think it all plays a role in like areas like down here, south, like Miami. Like you go to many lounges, and you're not gonna see any boutique brands. All you're
No,
gonna
it's
Right.
see is
hard,
the
man.
usual Perdomos and
Yeah.
Camacho, and like the legacy brands, My Father, and all that. And it sucks, because most of the time you already smoke all of that, and sometimes you
Yeah.
go to a lounge
Hmm.
trying to find something new for you to smoke. That's why I don't even go to lounges down here anymore, because to smoke that over there and spend money,
Product over.
I'll smoke it in
Yeah,
my house. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's our biggest milestone. Like I was saying
Yeah.
earlier, we've been focusing on boutique brands. Every time we have someone here invited to the podcast, we always, again, we don't have anything against legacy brands. I smoke legacy brands, but we
Yeah.
focus more on the boutique brands. You know what I mean?
sure. No, absolutely, man. And again, like Saka, I mean, legacy brands are legacy,
Yeah,
for a reason, right? I mean, they've, and that's okay. It's something again that should just inspire you to do better. Like,
Yeah.
exactly.
don't be intimidated by it. Don't be, discouraged by it. Just keep
Yeah,
grinding, trying better, every day. So
yeah.
all
No,
good.
I just put it out there because there's always someone sending a message like, "Oh, you hating on legacy brand?" I'm not
Oh
hating on legacy.
man, all the time, all the time.
Yeah, I'm not hating on legacy brands. It's just that
We're all
we
consumers.
want to focus on the boutique brands because, like,
Yeah.
for example, and what I'm about to say is true. Like, when do you see a legacy brand owner doing a cut and light? Never.
Never.
Hardly
Never.
ever.
Who are the
Very,
ones
very
doing cut
rare.
and light?
The rep.
Yeah, boutique brands.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Boutique brands need
and
the
for,
owner.
yeah, and
Yeah.
for me, it's a special thing to be able to go to a lounge, to a cut and light, and be able to meet the owner of the
Yeah.
cigar brand, be able to talk to the guy or her and smoke their cigar. It puts a different meaning to the cigar that I'm smoking. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
again, it's not hating on legacy brands, guys. It's just plain truth. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are putting double the efforts, sometimes triple the efforts, to move your brand and grow your brand and be out there in more lounges, in more online stores and stuff like that. And we gotta support you guys. Simple as that.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. Very.
if it was
Yeah.
easy, everybody, I mean, there's a lot of this stuff that people think like, oh, owning a cigar brand is so glamorous, and it's like all the stuff you don't see, like that, the legal stuff, the
Hmm.
taxes, the this, the that. It's
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
not always glamorous. It's rarely
Hmm.
not a glamorous thing, but
Yeah.
that's the part where if it was easy, everybody would do it. I think getting to go new cutting lights is fun and the glamorous
Yeah.
part per se. But man, there's a lot of work that goes into it. That
Yeah.
There's a lot of
a lot.
work into it, time, money too.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people, they're like, I've spoken to people that they're like, Oh, because this cigar brand, they haven't even grown anywhere. I've never heard of them and shit like that. People don't understand that you need, yeah, not only time and effort, money.
Hmm.
If you guys were millionaires, you guys will have a ton of salespeople all around the United States
Right.
selling your cigars,
Yeah.
and your brand will be
Yeah.
huge. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's what people don't understand, that these legacy brands, the owners, they have the rich
Yeah.
and money to
Oh yeah.
invest in promotion. Like,
Yeah.
will you guys spend $25,000 just to be in the front of, I don't want to say the name of the magazine, but the most famous one, the one that
Yeah.
do the 20 top cigars every
Yeah.
year? You're not gonna
Yeah.
spend $20,000 just to be on the front of the magazine, because
Yeah.
those $20
Yeah.
you can put it towards another blend. You can put it towards, your the cause that you guys support, and many other things that they're more important than just than being in a
Yeah.
magazine. But a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
That's it, man. I completely agree, and that's why I respect brands that really develop that cult following. Because
Mm-hmm.
it's well worth the effort. It's something, just to be honest, like we're trying to do the same thing. We really want our loyal followers. And I think we're getting there. But you look at brands like we already mentioned, like the Cigar Clowns. You look at like
Yeah,
Traficante. I don't know if you ever heard of
yeah, oh, yeah.
Traficante,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah. Makes
they
great
they
cigars.
have, yeah, he makes killer cigars, man, and yeah, he's definitely done a great job of building his cult
Yeah.
following. I would say one of the bigger boutiques has that I think did very well was probably Black Label Trading Company. I think he
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
really paved the way with that. But
Yep.
you know, so yeah, it's just it feels like we're part of the underground movement. You know what I mean? It's like the
Yeah.
Yeah.
underground bars. So
No,
yeah,
and that's good because one of the things that I try to do here in Pennsylvania, usually there's a lounge around here that they sometimes do cut and light with certain, and I usually try to go to them, not because I want to necessarily buy their cigars, but I want to get to meet the owner. I want to get that
yeah,
vibe from the owner, because a lot of the times, like, yeah, like what you were saying, you don't really see legacies. You'll see sales reps coming up. But when I find out that there's an actual brand owner that's gonna be at the event, I want to go see what that person is about. I want to get that energy from them. And again, if you come with that good energy and all of that, that's when I'm gonna be like, you know what? That's a brand that I'm gonna support. And I feel
Exactly.
like those cut and lights, they're very, very, very important because you get to engage with the owner, man. And if you
Hmm.
come
Yeah.
with that energy, that positivity, that's where your bread and butter is at, man. That's where you're gonna get the love and that following that we're talking about. A lot of guys
yeah.
on Instagram, I was lucky enough to meet Nick Perdomo. He actually went to a lounge, one of the a very big lounge around here, and dude, he was like, again, I didn't get to speak to him for a long time, but just the little words that I got from him, to me, he was, it came off as a good thing, and I was like, wow, the owner's actually here. I'm actually meeting him, took a picture with him. So, and I enjoyed that. But with the boutique brands, I get to speak to them and I want to see what their story is. And I'm like, dude, this is what I'm about, man. That's why I promote boutique brands as much as I can, man. I love it. I love the boutique area, and I just love it. So I definitely appreciate you guys
Yeah,
doing those cutting lights and keep
that's
doing it, man.
dope,
Keep focusing on that. Keep that energy going, man. And I wish you guys nothing but success, man.
and that's
Thank
dope, man.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Right
you.
back at you, brother. Right back at
Yeah.
you.
Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. We're
Appreciate
so
you
glad
guys.
that you're part of the pack now. Part
Dude,
of the
I don't want to
pack.
turn this off. I don't want to turn this off, man. This is I love it, man.
I'm burning my fingers
No,
Yeah,
right now.
dude, I
no,
love it. I haven't had to fix it. I haven't had to do anything,
No, me
relight
neither.
it, nothing, man. Beautiful.
Nothing. Beautiful smoke. Look at
Love
this.
the
If I'm doing this, I mean something. So,
beat.
Yeah.
we're gonna
Thank
put the link on whenever we upload
Yep.
the podcast. We'll put the link to you guys on
Yeah.
YouTube, and we'll also put it on Instagram whenever we release the
Yep.
video. I'll do it in collaboration, Justin, with the Chaffiott page, so that
Hmm.
we can both put it up on Instagram. And
Sounds good.
again, guys, please, follow Chaffiott Cigars on Instagram. Follow Crystal. Follow Justin's personal page as well. Follow us. and just let's just support Chaffiott. They got a really good cause, and it's a real cause, and we gotta support it definitely. Great cigars though, great
Thank you,
cigars.
guys. Thank
Well,
you.
look us
Yeah,
up when you're
man.
in Orlando. We're not too far from Orlando, and
Yeah.
we get down to my aunt's in Deerfield Beach sometimes, so we'll
Whoa,
have to connect.
Yeah.
how far are you guys from Orlando though? Like an hour?
About an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah.
We're gonna have a Wolfpack Cigar Club meetup in Orlando at the end of October. There's gonna be a lot of
Okay.
members that they're gonna go. We're gonna meet up in Corona downtown
Nice.
Orlando, Corona Cigar Company. So I'll
Very
send
good.
you the info. If you guys, by any chance, have any chance to go there, it's gonna be on
Really?
Sunday, the 27th.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'll
that gives
send you the info. Yeah, I'll send you the info. If you guys can make it, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
That
man.
would be
awesome.
No, I
awesome.
love
There's a lot of
it.
people
Person.
going.
Absolutely. Pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
But
good, though.
Justin,
Sounds good.
Crystal, I mean, before we kind of like head out, I mean, I know we've been on almost an hour and a half. Anything that you guys want to
Oh
say?
yeah.
Any parting words or anything that you guys want to mention? Events coming up, whatever it is, man. Space is yours.
Thank
Well,
you.
just
Yeah.
thank you in advance for anyone who is going to make a purchase. So I know that you have a cigar budget like most people do, and it's an honor for us to be part of that. So we appreciate that. I'll be packing your boxes, and I do it with love. So I'll send you some love. Um,
Beautiful.
and you can always find out more about the mission, who we support, and who's doing the real work. We need to update our website, but we will be doing that. So if you're looking to get involved in your local organizations, we can help steer you or connect you to people that are actually out in the trenches fighting against trafficking. But certainly start with a cigar, and we'll talk from there.
Yeah. I think I would just say, yeah, for anybody who doesn't know who we are, we definitely don't take the mission of anti-trafficking work as a gimmick to sell cigars. This is really where our hearts are in this. Our hearts are invested in raising funds for that cause, but our hearts are also very invested in providing quality cigars. So I always said from the beginning, if your mission's great, no one cares if your product sucks. So I take it very, very seriously. Crystal takes that. We put just
It's the
blood.
opposite.
What's
You
that?
said no one cares if your product sucks.
Oh,
They do
I'm
care.
sorry. I said that wrong. I said, like, yeah. If you have a great mission, no one really cares about how great your mission is. If you have if your product sucks, if you have a shitty product. So
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I said that backwards.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I was like, we
But
do
anyway,
care. We do care.
yeah, we do care very. That's what I'm trying to say. We do care very, very much about our product. It's blood, sweat, and tears is poured into this, and so yeah, thank you for everyone who wants to check us out. It's an honor. So
And if you do make an order, put in the comments Wolfpack so we can give you an extra shout out as well. We'd love to, connect to more of the pack and send our gratitude.
Beautiful.
So, yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
so
Nice. Yeah. We started doing. We only have done two. We've done two herbs here on YouTube with where I reach out to different members and I bring on members so that we can, because we're all over the place. We're all over the United States, so it's impossible for us to be able to meet all these people. So what me and Rafi, we spoke about was like to do herbs here on YouTube and then like have a certain group of members joining us and then another group of member on a different day so that we can all like
Yeah.
be like this, be able to smoke and talk. It's everything is through a message
Mhm.
on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's members that they like cameras. There's members that they don't like. Because I've had members where I reach out and they're like, "Oh no, man, I'm shy. I don't really do like cameras and stuff like that. Do you mind?" I'm like, "No, dude, not at all." Like, but if they want to come on board, what I'm planning on doing and in the near future is like having you guys that you guys are members and you guys have a brand and be able to bring other members so that they can talk to
Yeah.
you guys and
Yeah.
get to you guys and stuff like that, what I mean?
We
would
love
love
it.
it.
And just tell them to turn their camera off. They don't have to be on camera. They can be a part of it.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. No, but thank you guys. Yeah, thank you
Yeah,
guys for coming aboard. And spending. I know you guys. Put the kids to bed and all of that. But definitely
yeah.
appreciate you guys coming aboard on us with us. And again, I don't know how many times I could say this, man. I wish you nothing but success and good luck on any endeavor that you guys pursue, man. Definitely
Thank you.
appreciate that.
We appreciate you
Thank you.
guys.
Appreciate you guys big time.
All
Thank
Buddy.
you.
right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
Definitely,
that.
man. All
Have a good
right.
night.
Have a good night, guys.
You
Good night.
guys.
Yep.
Good night.
All right. Bye bye.